Hello and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project on YouTube. So in this video, it's an update video to talk about whether or not you should refine your 5-star weapons or not in Genshin Impact. So the last video, my mic was not working. Unfortunately, sorry, apologies for that. So I fixed it now. So here we're just going to talk about this, and this will be a shorter video than the last, actually, about half the time. So here we go. So my general rule, and this is just my personal experience, okay, is that I keep all my 5-star weapons. I don't refine them. However, recently with the 2.1 update and in this recent week literally, I started refining them into each other, some of them only. Okay, and I'll tell you what was the shift and why. And I would say this more like when you're a F2P or a beginner to the game, middle game, or even late game, if you were not already rolling on or polling on the weapons banners that much, or just casually polling here and there, okay, you'll eventually get some 5-star weapons, okay? Or even if you build up your pity on your standard banner, eventually you'll get some 5-star weapons there as well, right? So then when it was like that, then I would never recommend to refine duplicates of your 5-star weapons into each other, because at that point you didn't have that many 5-star weapons in your inventory and in your equipment yet, right? However, as you progress through the late game and you start to pull more often, perhaps if you choose to, pull more onto the weapons banner and go for certain weapons, then eventually you may get more duplicates, okay? So that's when you have to make the decision. And that's what this video is going to address, and this is kind of to show what happened here. I will quickly go through each one of my reasoning for what happened here. Okay, so for example, starting with the Amos bow on the screen, I did not pull for it in the first banner that ever came out. I didn't even have this game in the first banner. I started this game at the end of 1.0, so I missed Venti, and I started from Klee's banner onward. So I didn't get the Amos bow then. I got these two Amos bows off banner from losing the 50-50. So they were not even rated up, I believe. Or maybe I'm not sure if there was one rate up, but anyway, they were not the ones that I went for and I got them. One of them may have come from the standard banner as well. I got them way after I got Ganyu, and my Ganyu was rocking a 4-star Blackcliff Warbow. So I replaced it for her, and long story short, that's what it is. The second Amos bow came similarly after the fact, way after the fact. I was saving it for another bow user, and then Yoimiya was announced, and I was going to give it to her because I compared this to Thundering Pulse, and they were similar enough in terms of some of the things. And then what happened was I got Thundering Pulse. And please do check out my summoning video because I can't redo that one, even without audio, because I can't summon this anymore. But that one, I unfortunately lost the 50-50 twice, and I got other various weapons instead. But then I got one Thundering Pulse, and I gave it to Child instead, as you can see. So he had an R5 Rust, which I gave to Yoimiya. And in this case, I'm very happy and pleased with it because this is actually more of the passive is more increase for her damage than it is for the Amos bow, despite the higher base attack for this one. Okay, because if you calculate the passive, that one 80% is still higher than this, which is 12% plus a maximum of 40 on top, so 52, let's say. Even though 52% of a higher base attack difference of 100 something is not much more than 80% of a lower base attack, so to speak, okay? So trying to wrap this up quickly. So that's why she got that, and then of course Kujosara was announced, and I just gave this to her because she's an attack buffer, and her attack is based on her base attack, which includes her weapons base attack. So I'm going to be working on this as well to level it up to maximize her damage and boost. Okay, so with the Lost Prayer, I did not go on her Klee's original banner to get it, and I didn't even get it when it was rated up. I think I did get it at one point. I got 2 copies of it when it was rated up at a later banner, and then 1 copy was a standard banner or an off banner. So I have 3 in total. So this is in a situation where I recently decided to give Klee a refinement. I literally the other day did it off stream and gave her one because I had 3, so there was 1 extra one. And so at that time I was using Ningguang. I was switching Ningguang out from Klee. So Klee already had one. Gave it to her way after. She was using the Solar Pearl, and at that point it was only R3, I think. And then the Solar Pearl went to Yanfei, as you can see. And then at one point it sat with Ningguang, but I got a second one for her, so I gave it to her. And then the third one, I decided not to build it and give it to her instead. Because as we know, the next character coming, as of the timing of this video, is Kokomi. And Kokomi does not need any crit at all. So that's why I decided to give it to Klee. Okay, so then with that being said, then with Engulfing Lightning, if you look at my summoning video recently, I was lucky. I got 2 Engulfing Lightnings back to back after losing the first 50-50 to Unforged, and this is not a duplicate, so it's sitting there. No one else needs it right now, so it's sitting there, but it is still the third best Claymore in the game after these two, the Broken Pines and the Wolf's Gravestone. Funny story, the Wolf's Gravestone was my very first 5-star weapon that I got on a standard banner, and I never ever leveled it up until way later, until when I started getting like Eula and maybe started using Claymore users, because I never used Claymore users until like basically late game. And then I got D-Luke as my final standard banner 5-star that I had never collected ever, and then I got him like pretty much in the late game. So there's that. Anyway, so then I got 2 of them, and I at one point even asked Reddit recently if I should give 1 Engulfing Lightning to Shangling. And a lot of people said yes, I should, okay, or I should hold on to it, etc. But in my case, as many of you have happened to have, you may have lost 50-50 or got rate up 50-50 for the Skyward over whatever other weapon it was paired with at the time on the weapon banner. And so in my case, I got 1, I think, from that situation where it was paired with another weapon, and I think I lost 1 or I got it from the standard banner. So in the end, my Shangling already had a level 90 Skyward Spine recently as of 2.1 or end of 2.0. And so I decided to give her the second one because it was just sitting there in my inventory and I did not want to build it. And because I got another, Engulfing Lightning, so I just gave Shangling the R2 instead. Okay, and as we know in this current patch, there is the catch. Okay, the catch. I'm not even at R5 yet, but I will be very soon, I think. I just need those fish to reset. But anyway, that will be another video that will be updating, so please stay tuned. I will be comparing Engulfing Lightning with Skyward Spine and the catch, okay? So stay tuned. I already have one on right now, but I will be replacing that one because of the audio issue. So for that reason, because there's all these other options with energy recharge pole arms already, and I was fortunate with getting a second one for Engulfing Lightning, and I guess you can call it fortunate or not for the Skyward Spine, I decided to refine both of them into their original one, so now there are 2. This one I did not get on Xiao's original banner. I did not, unfortunately, but fortunately for me, on his banner, I got the Jade Cutter, which I'm super happy about. And I don't even use Xiao. I never really hardly ever use him, but I did level him up after the fact, and I did companionship level 10 him. But I don't really use him. I don't actually like using him. I like him as a character, and story-wise, I just don't like using it. I find it clunky. And I also don't like the fact that he loses life. Anyway, so I did get this off banner, and I think it was either during the recent polls for either the Mist Splitter or from the Thundering Pulse. So anyway, I got it for him, so it's my only one for him, so it's there. And then Homa, I'm one of the few fortunate people, not to brag, but I'm very lucky. I did not lose the 50-50 to Wolf's Gravestone. I got 2 back-to-back Staff of Homas. I kid you not. This was before I became a streamer, so it's not available anywhere. But I got them 2 back-to-back Staff of Homa with not losing the 50-50. I got 1 Odd Soft Pity, and I think the other one within the next few polls, literally, like single polls. So at that time, I was using Zhongli and Hu Tao, and I still use them to this day. And they were in the same party, so I wanted them both to have it. And in a case where people had already figured it out, an R1 Staff of Homa is actually better, I think, than a Vortex Vanquisher. I don't know, I don't own a Vortex Vanquisher, but people were saying it's already stronger, and it was better for Zhongli. So there you go. So I got 2 of them. Mist Splitter, unfortunately, I lost that 50-50. I lost it twice, actually, so I only got 1 copy. I wanted 2 of them, but I only got 1 copy, so it went to Ayaka. Yeah. And sorry, I correct myself. The Thundering Pulse, I actually lost it once only, and I got it the second time, so I didn't have to go to the the third fate point. I'm sorry, I just corrected myself there. Okay, Jade Cutter I already talked about. There are rumors, I don't know, that it may be coming up again. I don't know. I'm questioning if I would even want it again, because I already have one. Skyward Blade, same thing. It was rated up, I think, recently in one of the previous ones, and also I got one on the standard banner, I think. And or as an off banner. So similarly, it is a good blade for Bennett or even Xingqiu, any of these single-handed sword users that need lots of energy. Jean would be a good candidate for it as well. But I also got an Aquila off banner. So it just so happened that I gave this, originally it was to Bennett for the attack buff because it has a higher base attack, but I gave it to my Kaching because I could not get her the other Mist Splitter, unfortunately. So it just worked out that she got that one. And then basically, here we are. So the rest of them, I've discussed already. So long story short, to sum up this video, to make this shorter than the previous one, eventually, as you play the game, you will encounter and collect more and more weapons. And at that point, you can make decisions at that point. But when you're refining the weapons at 5-star levels, you should not refine them and do not make that decision lightly unless you have alternative options for your characters. So that's pretty much my decision making. I hope this gives you some insight into my decision making process. So if you like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and put a comment in there, and feel free to ask me questions, and feel free to hit the notification bell for future updates. So in my next video, I will be once again comparing the Engulfing Lightning, Skyward Spine, and the Catch. Okay, so please stay tuned. I will be replacing the previous videos with no audio. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.